I once did a gig with a Russian dog act. There was a guy and a dog, and the guy kept trying to sing a song, and the dog was being naughty, and the dog would steal the guitar or unplug the amp, and then at the end, finally, the guy played the guitar and the dog howled along. It was adorable. And between shows, I told him how much I liked his act, and he turned to me and he said, "Sure, but what happened when dog die? My career over." There's no business like show business, is there? Anyway. In the 1990s, there was a show on British television called Moment of Truth. It was one of those big Saturday night shiny floored entertainment spectaculars, and it was hosted by Cilla Black. Every week they would show footage of Cilla arriving at the front door of a viewer, picking a family member and giving them a challenge. She would produce an expert who would show them a particular skill. The family member would have a week to learn it. Next week they'd come to the studio, and if they could do the skill first time, then they would win huge amounts of prizes for themselves and their family. And I do mean huge amounts of prizes. Every member of the family would get tons of stuff. Computers, TVs, new bikes, new cars, holidays, really big stuff. I think at the time it was one of the biggest prize funds on television. They would sit the family to one side of the stage, and a huge door the size of a house would slowly swing open, behind which were all of their prizes. Then the dad would attempt to sink 10 golf putts in under a minute or something, fail dismally, and the door would slam shut and the kids would burst into tears. It eventually got taken off the air because it was too cruel to the contestants, but it was fun while it lasted. And I know it was fun because for 3 seasons I kept popping up as one of the experts. Yep, there I am, looking like a pound shop Darren Brown before Darren Brown even existed. I was on it so much Cilla Black started calling me our Matt. I really enjoyed going around the country with a film crew and Cilla and watching members of the public react to meeting Cilla Black. We'd be walking down the street and people would yell across the street, "Alright, Cill," and she'd yell back, "Alright, Choc." I think she liked me and I for sure liked her. I even got to tell her that her version of Anyone Who Had a Heart is one of my wife's favourite records. She liked that. "A lot of people have forgotten that I'm a singer," she told me. ITV bought the format for the show from Japan, and after it was a modest success over here, they sold it on to a bunch of other countries. And since I'd come up with a lot of the ideas for tricks and challenges, I started getting calls to go and appear on the various different versions of the shows in other countries. And in one of those other countries, the family they'd picked for the challenge lived in a really run-down council estate in the outskirts of the city. They were a working class immigrant family, and they were a little bit bamboozled by the idea of having a camera crew in their tiny flat. As the host explained what they'd have to do and I demonstrated the challenge, they got noticeably more focused and more serious. They were still smiling for the cameras, but it slowly dawned on me what winning this show could mean for them. They were poor and they had the chance to win genuinely life-changing stuff. Stuff that could help their kids make the most of their education. Stuff that would let them be more independent. Stuff that would take the financial pressure off. If they won, then these silly game show prizes could offer this family a real step up. But in this show, people didn't often win. So I waited until we finished shooting, until the host had gone home and the crew were packing up the gear, and I found the dad. And I took him aside, and I secretly told him how to do the trick. I gave him all the pointers I could. I guided him through the pitfalls until he felt confident that he could do it. I did everything that I was not supposed to do. I'm not sure if he thought that that's what I did for everyone. Maybe he just assumed that's how the show works. But I did what little I could to help. I mean, what the hell, it's only television, right? That's all for this week. This being the internet, I am morally obligated to ask you to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're not doing so already, please do follow me on Instagram and Twitter and show this video to anyone that you think might enjoy it. I am a live variety performer, and at the time of recording this, all of my gigs for the foreseeable future have been cancelled. So if you did enjoy this, please do consider clicking the link underneath this video and donating me the price of a cup of coffee so I can keep making stuff. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next week.